news. 2 people have been confirmed dead as Hurricane Milton makes landfall in Florida. Multiple people are believed to have been killed in a tornado that hit St. Lucie County as Hurricane Milton approached. More than 1.5 million homes and businesses are now without power as the National Weather Service say the situation is life-threatening. Well, our US correspondent James Matthews is in Tampa, Florida.
The Hurricane Milton, has made landfall in near Siesta Key in Florida, so it has reached the Panhandle state. And you can look around me and you get a sense of its power. You can see its effects on the palm trees behind me. We're in Tampa, and I can tell you can feel a devastating power. You can hear it in the roar and sense it. You can feel it in the wind. Clearly, it's raining. The concern is the storm surge, the water that has been thrown ashore from the Gulf of Mexico as Hurricane Milton made landfall. There have been warnings consistently, of course, over several days that in evacuation zones, Floridians should find alternative accommodation, get themselves away from the path of the hurricane. There are some who have chosen to stay, and the stark message to them has been essentially that you are on your own. The deadline for evacuations passed several hours ago, and whilst there are search and recovery teams, resources being piled in to mitigating the effects of this hurricane, there's nothing much that can be done while the hurricane blows through. That recovery effort kicks in after Milton has left the Panhandle state. So that's the difficulty for people who find themselves in the path right now of Hurricane Milton. But it's historic. They have called this a historic hurricane, the strongest to hit this part of Florida for more than 100 years. Reduced from a Category 5 to a Category 3 storm by the time it hit. But that doesn't mean that it is not extremely powerful, extremely dangerous, and will have, one imagines, a devastating impact. This is all happening, of course, in the hours of darkness. Daylight will reveal the full impact of Hurricane Milton.
And James, you've been speaking to some of the people who have stayed behind, incredibly brave, some might say foolish. What is the mood like with the people that you've been speaking to who have stayed? Are they defiant?
Defiant might be a word, stoic certainly. I have to say there are very few who have remained in a specific part of Florida that has looked like being in the eye of the storm. One individual we spoke to, he was in a boat in Tampa Bay. His view was that the boat would float and he would rise and fall with the tide, with the water, essentially. But, you know, he's there at his own risk, and that risk has been made very clear to him. I mean, the warnings have been stark. The mayor of Tampa telling people, if you're in an evacuation zone and you remain where you are in your coffin. One police chief told people, if you are in that particular situation, write your name on your arm so that we know to whom you belong when we find you dead. So stark warnings aimed at Floridians who have, many of them, become complacent. Many used to hurricane warnings over the years, to sitting it out and surviving. So there is a degree of hurricane fatigue in this state, but this is different. That's been the warning about this one. This is different, more powerful and more dangerous.